I've been a trucker for long as I can remember. Driving long distances on the open road with nothing but the soft hum of my engine to keep me company has always been my idea of freedom. But little did I know that one fateful night would change everything. It was a dark and stormy night, with a heavy rain pounding on my windshield as I drove through a deserted stretch of the highway. I had just made a delivery and was heading back home when I noticed a figure on the side of the road. It was a woman, drenched and shivering in the pouring rain. Without a second thought, I stopped my truck and opened the door, inviting her in. She climbed into the passenger seat, her clothes clinging to her body as she let out a sigh of relief. "Thank you so much for stopping," she said, her voice shaky. "I have been walking for hours and I had no idea where I am." I nodded and offered her a blanket to warm up, as she wrapped it around her. I couldn't help but notice how pale and haggard she looked. Her hair tangled and her eyes were bloodshot, but I brushed it off, thinking she must have been through a rough time. As we continued driving, she told me that she was running away from an abusive relationship and was trying to get her as far away as possible. I felt a pang of sympathy for her and offered to drive her to the nearest truck stop where she could get some rest. But as we drove, she suddenly went quiet. I turned to check on her, and that's when I noticed her reflection in the mirror. Her eyes were no longer bloodshot, but black and lifeless. Her face was controlled with a twisted grin, revealing sharp teeth. I slammed on the brakes and my heart racing in panic. "What the hell?" I shouted, not wanting to believe what I was seeing. The woman cackled, her voice now deep and menacing. "You should have not stopped, Tucker. Now you belong to me." I tried to open the door and run, but it wouldn't budge. I was trapped in my own truck with this demon. She lunged at me, her claws digging into my skin as she whispered in my ear, "You will be my pawn, my vessel, and together we'll drive for all eternity." In a desperate attempt to escape, I reached out to my pocket knife and sliced her arm. To my horror, the black tar-like liquid oozed instead of blood. But it was enough to startle her, and I managed to push her off me and run out the truck. The rain had slowed down, but the wind was howling as I ran into the darkness. As I looked back, I saw the demon emerge from the truck, her body contorting and morphing into a human form. It let out a spine-chilling roar and began to chase after me. I ran for my life, my heart pounding in my chest as I could feel her breath on my neck. Every step I took felt like I was running in slow motion, the demon gaining on me with every stride. But then I saw the lights in the distance. The truck stopped. With all of my strength, I sprint towards it with my lungs burning and my legs feel like lead. As I reached the safety of the lit area, I could feel the demon's grasp slip away. I collapsed on the ground, catching my breath and thanking whatever forces of nature had saved me. After that night, I quit my job and swore to never drive on that stretch of the highway again. But the memory of the demon still haunts me. It was as if she had marked me as her target, and I could feel her presence everywhere I went. I started to see her in my nightmares, looking around the corners and whispering my name. I would wake up in cold sweats, my heart racing and my body trembling. My once peaceful life had turned into a never-ending nightmare. I tried to seek help, but no one believed my story. They all thought that I was hallucinating or making it up for attention. But I knew the truth. That demon had chosen me and wasn't going to stop until she claimed my soul. And then, one night, she came for me. I was standing outside my house, lost in the thought when I saw her emerge from the shadows. She was just as terrifying as I remembered, her eyes fixed on me as she approached. You belong to me, Taka. It's time to fulfill our eternal contract. She hissed, reaching out to grab me. But then, something miraculous happened. A bold strike of lightning struck her, causing her body to disintegrate into ash. The storm intensified, as if celebrating her demise. I was in shock, unable to comprehend what had just happened. But then, I saw a figure standing in the distance. A woman with piercing blue eyes, surrounded by a bright golden aura. She walked towards me and put a hand on my shoulder, her voice soft yet commanding. Your soul was marked by a powerful demon, but she underestimated the strength of your will. You have survived and broken her hold on you. Your soul was marked by a powerful demon, but she underestimated the strength of your will. You have survived and broken her hold on you. You are free now. And with that, she disappeared, leaving me in awe with a newfound sense of peace. I never saw the demon again. I would finally live my life without fear. But I will never forget that night. The night I encountered pure evil and managed to get out alive. And to this day, I wonder if that woman who saved me was just a passerby or just something more powerful, watching and protecting us from the darkness.